Now, about to try to fix the latency right now. It's been popping a little bit. Could be my speakers, but it could also be the latency, sample rating, things of that nature. We're gonna see. You know what I'm saying? For me, man, I'm just basically trying to learn as much as possible at this particular industry, the music industry. I feel like the one thing we lack in our community as it pertains to entrepreneurs, individuals who do want to get into this music business, is basically like, niggas don't want to sit down and read. People don't want to research and do what they need to do to be able to, you know, gain the knowledge and skill to be able to run an entire company themselves. And it's not that you don't want to hire somebody and get help. You know, that's not what I'm saying. I'm also saying, like, how can I speak to somebody, you know, about my brand in the direction that I want it to go if I don't understand the portion of what I'm trying to hire or, you know, do business with somebody about. For example, let's say I wanted to hire somebody or bring somebody that's going to be overseeing or directing my photography and, you know, other sorts of media. I want to know their jargon. I want to know what I already want before I speak to them and bring them in. And you need to have a vision for them instead of somebody bringing in a vision for you. And this is why a lot of artists, you know, tend to get lost and become something that they're not. People be having millions of dollars and be unhappy because they're stuck in an image they can't get out of. Somebody created that branding for them. It wasn't for them for themselves. You got to understand this business and how people are going to be perceiving it. Perception is going to work, for better words, and how, you know, you need to present yourself in a certain way so you can be as close to you and your soul as possible as you enter this particular next level and pinnacle, you know, in life. Because when you get into this game, I notice more people are paying attention to you. So for me, spinning back to the topic and getting to the point, I want to know everything as it pertains to the music business if I'm going to build the Rebel Empire. And I say all of that to say this. You have, you know, director of finance. You have a finance department, you know, that controls your taxing, you know, your income, your revenue, your profits and loss, things of that nature. You need to know a little bit about that to be a leader of that department. And yeah, you can hire people to just do it, but at the same token, when people, you know, people's perception, you know, really does, you know, I wouldn't say solidify, but it does begin a motion to how they perceive you as an individual. It's not to say you need to care about what people think about you, but you also need to see and understand that, you know, if you approach somebody a certain way, you have the knowledge in which you're already presenting and speaking to them about, you know, they're going to be more so willing to let you lead. And that's not saying you're power hungry, but you need to have a particular vision if you're going to let somebody inside of something you're creating. If you don't, people are going to do it for you, or they're not going to understand, and they're also going to not see you in the means of knowing what you even want. And when people feel that way, in my opinion, I believe that they're going to, you know, respond to you differently. They're going to, their work ethic for what they're, you know, being hired for or doing business with, you know, basically what you're presenting to them and what they're going to carry, they're not going to take it as serious if it's presented in a certain way. That's just how I feel from my experience personally. I won't go to somebody about revenue, finance, profits and loss, things of that nature if I don't understand that myself. So I immerse myself in whatever time that I have in this world of madness in which we live in, and I utilize those small frames of times that I do have to learn about those things. Even media, photography, making beats. You know what I'm saying? You know, I have people that know how to make those beats, but it feels good to be able to sit in the studio while they're building with me and building a specific sound. I understand their jargon, I understand their language, so I can speak to them in a certain way as opposed to somebody just sitting there, yo, do this and do that. You know what I mean? I'm saying, hey, look, man, I don't know if it's, you know, if maybe it's the BPM, maybe we need to slow down, track it to the beat. It could be, maybe it's too wet. Maybe it need to be more dry. You need to know stuff like that. You need to understand their jargon. You need to understand what latency is. You know, sample rating and things of that nature. You need to understand those things. Or people are going to just do it for you, and it may not be exactly what you want. Or the process to get to what you want may take longer. You understand? And if I want to hire somebody, the relationship we build based on me understanding and respecting something that they are being hired for. Because if somebody's being hired for something specifically, then that means they care about it. They're doing something good. And in order to do something exceptionally well or good, you know, or just good enough for somebody to want to even hire you, you have to have a certain passion behind that, okay? And when somebody connects somebody and that first-hand connection is a means of respecting something that they care for already, because you already immersed yourself and said, hey, look, yo, just do this for me, and you're like, hey, look, I want this, that, and the third. I understand the process of this, that, and the third. How do you feel about so-and-so program? Which programs do you use? You know what I mean? Do you use Affinity? Do you use Photoshop? This is stuff people are understanding that you understand something. So, all right, they're going to take you more serious. Two, they're going to say, all right, this guy actually gives a fuck about what I'm even doing in my life. So a certain care and a certain kind of relationship is built, and that's the kind of thing I want to build inside of my empire. And I believe when you build that, you start closing a lot of loose ends. And you need to just, you know, in conclusion, I can go all in all, man. I can go on type of tangents. You know, it is what it is. But what I'm basically saying is, you know, think for yourself, not society. Learn the things in which you want to lead for, because when you're building your team, they'll respect you more. Blessings.